It's a French word. You will never understand.
Comparative analysis.
Thank you. You see, Sadiq is a very good student.
2020.
Sadiq is a very good student.
Comparative 2020, and you are holding 2012 manifesto.
Yes, because the Don has his own way of doing things. Yes, my people, you have to refer to the history before you can have an adequate projection into the future.
What is that? What this year they said they go do what the election say go do what they
maybe
comparison of records or something.
I'm sure he wants to do.
They go compare records.
I'm sure you want to do a COVID-19 analysis with the
going to be small today.
You don't worry. You see, when you want to tackle a case, you look at the defense of the opposition to build yours.
Thank you.
Yes.
Is it a Qatar defense?
It's very necessary.
So they don't know. They don't know.
But those who want to know, they will know.
Okay, let's
go by the end of the show. So yesterday, that coup that was done. It was a coup d'etat.
It was a coup d'etat.
Yes, of course. They even said it. Even said it. The coup.
But I mean, one thing I want to know, Mr. Lodge, you paying for Nadi?
Based on the things that are happening, the events of things happening, I am MPP.
Thank you.
I am MPP.
That's all.
Outright.
So you don't get principles with that.
NPP don't have principles.
No, you don't get principles.
No, so what are you talking about?
Maybe what he said.
Where have I been all this while?
Where
have I been? Come again.
The bandwagon effect affects.
So I'm sure what he's trying to say.
The bandwagon effect.
The bandwagon has it affected me. You know how long I've been an MPP guy. The MPP needed that. I said that me. I'm very, very, very objective. I don't just do politics because I'm attached to party colors. It's because I believe in the policies. And the policy, look, let me remove my shit.
Remove it.
See, NDC, see, some of these things we don't want to say them, but we'll say them. NDC from day one had Ghana at ransom. The whole creative art industry was hijacked by NDC without a single improvement until the film fund was established or the film act was established. What is their legacy of support for creative art?
You go allow for
even the National Theatre where they started, they don't be themselves build. They didn't even build that. No. Yesterday, the other time Sadiq asked me that who built the conference center? Was it built with government money or state funds? No, I'm asking you. You can prove me wrong. It was Chinese people who built it for us.
Okay.
All right.
So what? You know the Pokwasi interchange.
Come on. Roads are our right. Roads, hospitals, they are our right. You don't need. You cannot tell me that.
So today, excuse me, honorable members.
And share the time accordingly.
Excuse me, honorable members.
Parliament will be in chaos today. We came prepared.
Order. Honorable members, I wanted to appoint Mr. Logic as the chief whip.
Yes.
But Ian Kasa, who will whip him?
No, but I've been the majority whip ever since.
The majority whip who's been absent from Parliament for since first
several sittings. So many sittings.
Parliament was on recess.
Where was you?
Well, COVID-19 recess.
Chief whip
knows.
So you're back. Done of all done.
COVID-19 recess.
And also chief whip news to me, you're absent.
The majority leader.
So what I'm doing is this. Please, fly my boy. And chief whip. This one about the show
and you know in Parliament for the rules of the House, don't be majority leader. So for rules of the House, often they give them premium.
So
when you raise your hand, often if the speaker knows he be in for C, the backbencher say
yes.
But
board meetings, you know, we do them. Nobody.
Sadiq, it's very unfortunate you are on the opposition side because you are my very good friend.
So he's the minority leader.
Yes,
minority.
And he has accepted his position
straight.
He's calling on you, Mr. Speaker, to do the right thing.
Yes.
So
if you be if you don't comport yourself today,
contempt.
It's good. Everyone is quiet now. Once you know comport unnecessary interjections and stuff, okay, we just call the watchman, security man. Chief security will come.
So it means that if somebody is talking,
you lose your seat.
No, if somebody is talking, you don't cap in.
You don't come, not at all.
Under no circumstance.
Including you. Yes. Including me.
No, you can ask questions.
By you talking to the
Yesterday,
hey, my friend,
George Crane was more of a, what do you call it, a pundit than even a host.
We are waiting for.
We don't want that kind of host
And
here
we are
today.
waiting for the time sharing so that we can begin the
time sharing. Today we are doing.
George, one of you.
Andy,
I don't care.
Here we go.
Are you starting or
Here we go.
you are using the time yourself?
Kwesi, please, I'm giving each 3 minutes. 3 is fine. 3. We have just 3
on the topic.
Yes, on the topic. Now the 3 minutes. Oh, you want 1 month to do it or what?
You people use 1 hour 30 minutes to discuss topic. Then you say make we use 3 minutes.
Yeah, because issues day today. I won't call Shatawali. I want your guy.
It'll be my guy.
Okay.
Don't and Shatter and Stone the relationship will be very interesting. today be this. Another time will be this. Another time will be this.
Okay, so I'm doing 4 minutes each. 4 is fine.
Yes.
It's 4 okay.
Yes.
4 is fine because 5 minutes does not do 4.
That's fine.
Right. So there is no guarantee that government will fulfill its promises in the manifesto. Rex Omar and other Samoa Bedu. This conversation happened on PM Express, I beg your pardon, Manifesto Tracker yesterday on Joy News. I'm very sure the whole of Ghana were tuned in because everywhere I went, they were watching and some were listening via Hitz 103.9 FM. So let's listen to what happened yesterday with Arnold and Rex.
What's the guarantee if we promised to set up theaters within 4 years and we couldn't fix it? What's the guarantee that we'll be able to fix large capacity studios in the next 4 years? Again, a couple of days ago, so Christopher was on radio talking about the fact that the theaters were unable to be fixed because of land title related issues.
He was handling those things.
So what's the guarantee that going into the next 4 years we will not have or face land title related issues in this matter?
What I'm saying that.
What I want to add is, I keep saying, I mean, somebody gives you a promise. He's not able to fulfill that promise. He looks straight into your eye and give you another promise. You know, I want Mark to look straight to the camera and tell Kumasi people that there is a theater built by MPP are ongoing.
Right. I think we want to establish the fact that. Let me do that. There's no theater.
There's no theater.
Hi, Kumasi. Please go to Daybreak tomorrow. I can do that.
But in all honesty, I think we can agree right now that the NPP did not deliver new ultra modern large capacity whatever seating capacity theaters. I think we should admit.
George, I'm surprised Arnold has not mentioned this. Somewhere a year or two into governance, Deputy Minister came out to say that he thought that the numbers were a little bit on the high side.
Which Deputy Minister?
Of Tourism, Art and Culture. Ask him.
Yeah, but here you are, from the president all the way to the Nadobia. You guys are saying the theater has been completed.
And for example, one shocking thing is, I heard Nana Dubia saying that they're going to set up National Folkloric Board. And I said, what? Folkloric Board? Folkloric Board has been there for ages. You know, these are some of the things.
I didn't hear that.
It is even here. You know, so the whole situation is, it's about time that the Ghanaian policymakers take the creative industry. I mean, when you go to other countries,
where you are going too quick. It is for when we are finishing the program. Because there's one promise that I think we need to really go into. But I don't know if what you're going to say is short. No, it's very short. It's still in connection with the studio.
Okay.
With regard to the fact that it's going to be PPP. You see, last year we heard the talk about Film Village.
Yeah.
First, it was mooted that was be done in Eastern Region.
Exactly.
Then after a little agitation from the guys, the folks from Ashanti Region, there was a turnaround to say, oh, we'll fix one in Ashanti Region, fix one in Eastern Region. The Film Village was supposed to be PPP. Up till now, we've not heard anything in connection with that PPP.
See, George, that's why I said you've not been fair to me.
So that was Arnold Asamabedu and Rex Omar on PM Express yesterday on Joy TV. Joy News, I beg your pardon. Now, Magokwe Kumante, when they came at him, he also had a response. Please take a listen.
I don't know the venue you're talking about.
Oh, it's the Shanghai Mess.
I'm saying that I don't know it.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So I can only talk about what we've promised.
It's in the country that has the world's
I
largest
am happy
population.
when you mentioned that. You know, when you mentioned the venues, people often think that it's only human beings that it's going to take.
Yeah.
We went for a fair in Madrid. It's called Fitu. And for me, I got tired because I was tired with walking around. It's a big place, and if you give every country, and let's not forget, gradually, tourism, maybe creative art is relatively not like what we have for tourism. Now, our tourism side is going very, very fast, especially with what happened to us in the year of return. And so very soon, we're going to get international festivals coming in here. I have someone right now on my phone chatting with me who wants to bring is it Alicia Keys and Beyonce this Christmas.
So you believe
So
it is
not
relevant?
just-
It's something that is needed?
Yes.
Aside the church that we're
We
building?
cannot, the church is not for you.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Rex, do you believe this is something we need? Looking at the amount of money that we're going to, it is not going to be cheap. Is it PPP as well? Well, that one is.
Was it mentioned?
No, that one is not
Okay,
PPP.
so if it's not PPP,
Okay.
You know,
like that.
the whole situation is if we are to do scale of scale of importance. I believe that what they are talking about with the largest whatever is just a talk. It's just a talk because they will end up coming to tell us that we have a problem with the land title and blah blah blah. It's just a talk. The little things that you promised, just 9 theaters. If the MPP government had been able to do one, now you see our National Theatre here. How many years is it now? Can you compare it as old as it is to any of these things that they are claiming they've built a theatre? If they've been able to do one, these same theatres could have solved all the problems. You want to build a studio, right? Within the theatre, you can have the studio because theatres and studios are built with specific kind of design and acoustics and all
elements,
that. You are running away from the theatres and now going to
They haven't run away. They said they are refurbishing. Oh.
No.
George, I think you're getting it
No,
wrong.
but we'll come to you. Let's go to Arnold, then we'll come to you. Yeah.
So that was President of the Creative Arts Council, Mark Okriekumante. Showbiz Review is brought to you by Tri-State Roofing Company Limited. They have circular wave, self-lock tiles, IDT, IBR, transparent fiber sheets, and more. Please call them on 0302-850-802, 0303-967-400. Tri-State Roofing, your number one choice. Hi. Franco Trading Enterprise. They say come, buy anything phone, and they'll make sure they deliver right at your doorstep. You will have it. Don't complain. They won't tell you it's coming tomorrow and they'll call back and say, oh no, it's happening tomorrow's next. Once they say tomorrow, no, you get it. Call them on 0246-422-338 or 0546-133-188. Franco Trading Enterprise. Still phone Papa Fie. When you go on Facebook, please check out the authentic Franco Trading Facebook account. It has over 100,000 likes, not the fake ones people are using to defraud the innocent citizenry. Vodafone, too much. Well, Christmas has come early for all Vodafone Cash subscribers. Well, your secure and convenient Vodafone Cash is the only network offering you a chance to send money to all network, and it is so free. So free. You will not pay anything. Speaking of Vodafone, this August, the spotlight is back on our culture, our music, our artists. 30 awards presented at 2 exclusive events on Friday 28th and Saturday 29th August at 8 p.m. each night, featuring a galaxy of stars: EL, Kiddy, Adina, Kwame Eugene, Kofi Kinata, Medical, Kwesi Arthur, Akwabwa, Kim Promise, Eno Barani, Strongman, Celestine Donko, Raskuku, Efia, Kofi Mole, and many more. Don't miss the VGMAs live on TV3, Sound City TV, The Best TV, Rock Ghana on DSTV, and streamed on MTV Base and on Ghana Music Awards pages. The Vodafone Ghana Music Awards, produced by Chatterhouse with support from TV3, DSTV, KPMG, Sound City, The Base TV, media partners, and brought to you by Vodafone. The future is exciting. Ready? Please hold on tight. Immediately we come back, we'll get into the topics. Please, if you tune off, you'll miss out on the fire. Please stay with us.
This August, the spotlight is back on our culture, our music,
and more. From Love FM, experience the joy. at a cost of only 15 Ghana pesos. Text LF to 8787 to receive SMS news alerts on business, sports, politics, entertainment, and more. From Love FM, experience the joy. At a cost of only 15 Ghana pesos. Text LF to 8787 to receive SMS news alerts on business, sports, politics, entertainment, and more. From Love FM, experience the joy. At a cost of only 15 Ghana pesos. Text LF to 8787 to receive SMS news alerts on business, sports, politics, entertainment, and more. From Love FM, experience the joy. At a cost of only 15 Ghana pesos. Text LF to 8787 to receive SMS news alerts on business, sports, politics, entertainment, and more. From Love FM, experience the joy. At a cost of only 15 Ghana pesos. Text LF to 8787 to receive SMS news alerts on business, sports, politics, entertainment, and more. From Love FM, experience the joy.
Get the latest news updates around the world in just a click away. Text JP to the short code 8787 and receive SMS alert on news, entertainment, sports, and many more on Joy Prime at only 15 pesos. Joy Prime, real entertainment. Get the latest news updates around the world in just a click away. Text JP to the short code 8787 and receive SMS alert on news, entertainment, sports, and many more on Joy Prime at only 15 pesos. Joy Prime, real entertainment.
Say dear, Insure FM, Edin Yesio Ghana, and we are here for neighbor Bia, Air Tower Bubuano, and found Bia, Yedin Yabesi Bia, and Manu phone so. Ye hear us over test NF, Ako 8787, Yaveto 15 pesos per Udem, near Kosubia, Manu phone so. See a good Yamunsem, a Jadiamunsem, and Nijidiamunsem, and I knew Subiano, Yedibro Sumpra, Insure FM, and what day? Say dear, Insure FM, Edin Yesio Ghana, and we are here for neighbor Bia, Air Tower Bubuano, and found it by Bia, Yedin Yabesi Bia, and Manu
3.9 FM is Showbiz Review. Music of Shatawale. We'll speak with Shatawale this morning. But first, let's get into this topic right here. Mr. Logic, let me begin with you. In case you just tuned in, we're discussing a topic that involves the creative arts. The MPP government says they will build ultra-modern theaters and a recording, in fact, and recording studios. Yesterday on Joy News, I know that Samuel Bedu Rexomar and Marco Krekumante sat to discuss. Mr. Logic, let me begin with you. Your time starts now.
Okay, Andy, I would like to start, I would like to really go more administratively on this whole issue so that I will allow the Don to deal with them based on the policies and implementations of the Creative Art Bill and the whole Creative Art issue. In fact, I'm highly disappointed in Rex and Arnold. If you ask someone to give you a guarantee of whatever promise they've made to you of how they will deliver their promise, then you are not being reasonable. Because look, time immemorial, how many guarantees did the NDC give us for all the promises they made to Ghanaians? Look, they never built any theater. They've never built a theater in the whole administration of NDC. Anybody can prove me wrong. It was built for them. It was built for us.
Okay, so I don't need to interject, but let me...
Of course. National Theatre was built for us.
Then what are you saying?
No, I'm coming. I'm building a point because they are saying that the MPP promised to build 9 theaters for Ghana and they failed. So what is the guarantee that if we give them a second term, they will fulfill their promise? And I'm saying that why couldn't they build a single theater in addition to what we have already? After 8 years of being in office, what you cannot do or what you couldn't do, you don't expect your brother to overdo it, because in governance is process, Andy. Policy implementation is also process. I don't know why they feel that having Mark on a round table and pushing him to the wall is the best way to justify your argument that NDC will do better than MPP. Look, I said I'm going to deal with this administratively because I want to touch on the face. I don't have a manifesto like the Don has. So let me deal with the issue socially. And it's since I was a child, growing up. You know, I keep saying always that I cannot see any benefit I've made or whatever I've benefited as a Ghanaian. First of all, I realized that I didn't benefit anything as a person, as a citizen. But then, until when NPP passed the SHS, free SHS, then I said, okay, after all, if I didn't benefit nothing, my kids will. Look, when we talk about systems, we don't need you to build roads. Roads are our right. Health, hospitals, they are our right. Food, energy, they are our right. All these things are all fundamentals that you have to do for your citizens. You don't tell me you built an interchange. So because of the interchange, you've done so much infrastructure. We are talking about systems and policies. What you did is you improved on what was already there. One, the airport. Look how long we had the airport there. And then you improved on it. That we can say, yes, it's our right. We had the Ridge Hospital was also improved on. The interchange, equally. So now tell me, if you put all these things aside, are these the things that you call things you've done? Because these are all things that were already there. The interchange, yes, you rebuilt, but there was a road. There was a road already, and then you improved on the road system, the network. Now, if you tell me that because you built an interchange for us, you worth my vote than the MPP, then you've said nothing. What we want you to give us is proofs of how you changed the system. It's not the buildings, Andy. The system is one, education. Two, shelter. You understand? As we speak, we have a shelter problem. The rent law has been dormant. When you travel overseas, people pay rent 3 months and 1 month security. How much do we pay in Ghana for rent? 3-4 years. I'm left with 1 minute. 3 to 4 years. Since NDC time, since President Rawlings' time, since President Atamil's time, since President Mahama's time, we've been complaining about our rent system up to now. Even education, people cannot afford to go to SHS. Now, if you want to convince me to vote for you, you have to prove systematically that you've changed the system. But you cannot prove by the buildings you built and improvement of the airport and all the road. These are our rights, fundamental rights.
Right, thank you. But I wanted us to get into the
I was going to touch on the creative,
but you exhausted it anyway. Okay, Don.
Yes, Andy Dossi, thank you very much. I hope you give me 7 minutes.
Because I need to touch on the creative arts.
No. Andy Dossi, it will be difficult to... Okay, let me just go on. Now, manifestos are generally intentions, plans, policies that a political party sells to the electorate so that they look attractive, so that they are voted into power. So I can want to describe a manifesto as a kind of contract, MOU, not even an MOU with what do you call it, society. Now, realistically, sometimes ideals are not achieved. Now, go on to all the world trackers of manifestos. It is a norm. Even the UK and in the US, nobody, no government has ever achieved 100% of its promises in a manifesto due to so many reasons. Some of them spring up by surprise, like COVID-19. Say, it came by surprise and you would have to lay everything aside, look for funds to do other things.
Adjust.
Yes, adjust. So clearly it won't come in. Now, let's not forget that this is the political party that since 2012 had the creatives in mind. I am not saying that the NDC did not have it in mind. They also gave some promises, deepening collaboration with the media in 2012. Broadcasting Act and etc. They are going to make sure it is passed. Has it been passed? Did they ask President Mahama whether he did it? They are quiet. For me, I think this is, argument of convenience. Or more or less like they are just doing politics. Because yesterday, what went on, for me, I thought it was very unfair. Reason being that the panel constitution, for me, was not right. Arnold, for me, I don't know, if you followed him for a while, you will know where he lies politically. I mean, you can tell from where he lies.
Was he genuine? Unfortunately,
no. For me, he was playing politics. And on the onset, I told the producers of the show that Arnold is not neutral. I'm not going to hide this. I said it. He's not neutral. And that the constitution of the panel was bad. Now, anytime Mark comes in to answer, George heckles him and sort of limits him or comes in with a question. Now you realize that at the beginning when they were doing their preamble, giving us the analysis, Evans said something about a coup. And for me, I thought it gave me a listener. I am not talking as somebody who works with multimedia. I was listening to the show as somebody who was outside interested in the topic. Yes. So what I'm about to say, please, I'm saying it from a listener's point of view. Let's get this straight, because there are my colleagues involved. Now, Evans talked about a coup, and George said it hadn't succeeded yet. And I asked myself, what is this? What impression are you creating to the person outside? And Mark even came in to say, even the way George Quay has spoken is not well. George Quay talked about the fact that, his best friend, Arnold, blah, blah, blah. It gave the thing some kind of color. And for me, I thought that it was a well-rehearsed or well-orchestrated show without one active party involved. That was Makukwe Kumante. That is the kind of impression I had. Everybody had rehearsed what was about to go on without Mark. Now, you can tell. Now, Rex will say, I have the pictures here. Before a few seconds, the pictures are on the screen. I don't know whether you get where I'm coming from. So the whole thing was so well set. It started, Arnold gave this thing, Rex continued, then Mark actually came in, So for me, I really didn't like the whole mix. But what I intend to say is that NDC similarly, in 2012, gave us promises. The media, you and I, and Dusty, they talked about creating a fund to deepen capacity building for us. Yes. Where is the fund? Look, let's not be hypocritical about some of these things. Ideally, you should be able to achieve your manifesto, but realistically, is it feasible? Now, let's talk about AFRIMA, year of return. Even if you had a budget for the creatives, you wanted to do all these structures, and these things popped up, definitely it's going to weaken your budget. Your budget is not going to be the same. Moreover, there is something we call a scale of preference. You would want to choose what really would interest the state first in everything you do. So if refurbishing a place instead of putting a new one up for now will do, fine. I can understand the point they are trying to canvass, because they are suggesting that high members in government have said that theatres have been built. So they were saying, where are the theatres?
Please prepare to wrap up for me.
Theatres could be any form of political.
Yes, and for me, I believe that the framers of the Constitution knew that the first 4 years would not be feasible for any government to achieve his or her manifesto, or any president to achieve he or her manifesto, simply because you would have to even appoint ministers, DCs, they go through parliamentary vetting. All these things take a lot of time. Now you appoint CEOs, board, blah, blah, blah. After the appointments have done, a lot of time has gone by. Now people will have to sit in and understand. That is why the framers of the Constitution gave 8 years to a sitting president, so that they know you cannot complete. They know.
Right.
Yes, they know.
Okay.
So if you have promised something and you have started and you are saying that, in the next 4 years, I'm going to enhance it or add on to, I don't see anything bad about it.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
But manifestos can never be 100% fulfilled.
Right. Thank you. Don't, please. Thank you. Sadiq, please come.
Andy, this thing, you didn't give me time.
But time, but you know, 4 minutes, okay, what do 5 minutes? Sadiq, please.
Broadcasting Act. Up to now, we are suffering.
But use way.
President Mama, where is the Broadcasting Act?
Macho man, come and do your job.
Okay. Andy.
Yes.
Thank you.
Sadiq, I hope you stick to the time.
Oh, that's fine.
Thank you.
Just sticking to the topic. What was it about? Essentially, what they were saying was that on the basis of a particular promise that you made that you couldn't achieve, and the inconsistencies of government's own communication relative to whether they've achieved it or not, and a certain form of cluelessness doesn't give confidence that the future promises, which is a repetition of some of these promises, will be done. Now, it's instructive to note that to the tourism, culture, and creative arts space, the MPP made 18 promises, 6 of which were specific to the creative arts or creative economy. Now, this 6 from their manifesto has not been achieved as we speak today. None of it has been achieved. It's important for us to note that, not even a single one. And once the fact that it's not been achieved, right, then there was communications from government. There was a certain level of flip-flops and inconsistencies relative to whether it's been achieved or not, from the presidency till down. So if you listen to Arnold, and mind you, Arnold has always been one of the people that has been consistent on the issues. It's another thing altogether if you claim that Arnold doesn't have a point. But whether you think or you purport or you suspect that he's political or not, once he makes the point and it's worthy and it's backed by fact, that's it. We can't sit here today and major on the minors. What's important to notice that a particular government, look, Mark started a very good point by saying that creative arts in itself, relative to governance, was a recent thing. Creative arts, we all need to agree that both parties at a certain point in time, the way they leverage creative arts or creative people was for entertainment value on the campaign. Then from 2008, that's why, for instance, yesterday, 2 days ago, Mark was saying that Mr. Beautiful couldn't have said the thing that he said. And I agreed with Mark, because that was the first time a group of creative arts people together organized themselves to really influence their party's activities relative to enabling the creative arts. So fast forward, they were part of the manifesto. This time around, they are not. If you ask them, they will tell you they were not part of. I mean, they were not even actually even consulted on it. And there were a number of things that when they were pushing for them, they called for. Today, the Agenda 57 people that formed the basis of Kumawood and campaigned for the MPP, today, in the absence of the solutions and the things that the MPP said they would do to them, haven't they resorted to prayers? So we are talking about a party that has specifically mentioned that they were going to do certain things. They've not done it, and I agree. I mean, your manifesto, maybe you could do 10% or 5%, and then subsequently you could say you do something beyond that.
Thank you.
But in this particular case, not even a single one, Andy, not even a single one in 4 years. As it stands now, not
Hey! Sadiq, sit down. But why do you think you are going? But he hasn't spoken. No. I said, okay, if interjections are allowed, I'm not ordered yet. I'm not allowed yet.
I sat down quietly listening to you guys. I sat down quietly. We are in the 4th year of the MPP. 18 promises. First and foremost, it is instructive to know that these 18 promises has not been achieved. As we sit here today, none of the specific 6 ones to the creative arts or creative economy has been delivered. None. And then when from 2017 till now, there's been flip-flops. Look, 2 days ago, you asked Mark about the studio. There was a point in time when they actually said that, they've got the money, they were going to pursue it. There was another point in time when he said, industry doesn't like it, and so the plans have changed. And then now, that same thing is in the manifesto. On the last sitting theaters, for instance, as we speak now, it's not been delivered. However, from the president to the vice president to the lady who read the thing at the manifesto, the created impression has been done. As we speak today, Kumasi doesn't have a theater built by the MPP. In Kofodia, we know what just happened. When you go and you see an existing building that had pre-existed your government, and you paint it and change doors and locks, right? And Mark confirmed it. He said when he saw the Kofodia one yesterday he said it. When he saw the Kofodia one, when they went to Kumasi, they realized that certain things were missing. That's why he took Frankie's father to Kumasi. So I'm saying that the point Arnold and Rex were making was that this is a government that did not only deliver, but there's been inconsistencies from the president, and clearly you could see the president at the time he speak was not properly briefed. And Mark confirmed yesterday that the vice president as well was not briefed. The lady that came to speak as well was not briefed. If Mark and co, who were active for them in 2008, were engaged in this particular instance, I'm sure there will be a certain level-headedness to it. But as it stands now, they've not done anything to it as you sit here today. So if Arnold and Rex says that, look, on the basis of the fact that you've not been even able to do 10% of what you promised to the creative arts within 4 years, right? And then the inconsistency and the dishonesty in communicating about it.
All right.
If we are going to use it as a yardstick, we are not confident and we don't think that it's a guarantee that you can deliver. And I agree 100% with them.
Right, Sadiq. Well, thank you very much. Kwesi?
Yes, boss.
Mm-hmm.
Andy?
Have you checked the time? Because you look at the time.
Yeah.
No, check it.
It's
that's
9:45.
it. Yeah, go ahead.
Andy, sometimes when I listen to Honorable Member Sadiq, then I ask myself a few questions. That was he actually in this country? Has he himself as a person been living in this country all these years. Or we woke up one morning and then he was maybe deported from a particular country and then he has come to reside in Ghana. Because this Sadiq that is talking like this, I would have been very grateful. He will be able to, he will have been vocal in the days of NDC when they were in power.
Thank you.
Because if this Sadiq, the man with all the English, the man with all the mathematics, his vocal ability, his demeanor, and the way he presents NPP in creative art, and rubbishes everything that we have done to because 90 degrees job. And I'm looking at his background and saying that. So all I'm going through, I'm just checking his background on my phone to see where he's been residing for all these years, whether he's been in this country. Because if you look at what the NPP has done for the creative arts for the last 4 years, nobody is admitting that we've been 100%. Nobody, not even Paul John Paul, can admit that we've been 100% with creative art activities. But you see, the effort, for me, it is the effort that we have put in place to make sure that the creative arts begin to see prosperity, begins to see proper progress. All these things that we were talking for years, they were not backed by any legislative power. There was no any legislative authority that was backing creative arts industry. And so you see somebody pushing us to this at a point we are under Ministry of Tourism, at the point we are Ministry of Foreign Affairs. We are just being pushed around left and right. Under Sadiq ministry, government, the creative arts sector was becoming like one Ashawo young lady standing at the Togo embassy. Today you will see him at airport runabout. Today you will see creative art at Togo embassy runabout. This is what the creative art picture was looking. Today as we speak, Sadiq can confidently drive his car and go to an office and meet somebody sitting down there, having a representation of creative art industry to talk to. Look at the various master classes we've organized for the creative art industry. If for nothing at all, some kind of ideas have entered into people, which this was not there. For how many years? Sadiq should tell me, was the NDC 8 years in government, were they able to organize one master class? One master class to even teach us algebra. To even teach us algebra in music. There was none. And today, honorable member is sitting here in parliament and he is talking like this. And I'm confused. Brother, look at the various stages that we've used and the kind of push we have given to the creative art bill for its passage. This bill, I sat on this table and I said that if the creative art bill was a Bible, I'm sure that by now they should have completed writing it. Yes. Because I don't see why 3-page or 4-page document we have taken us years like this for it to even reach cabinet stage. Today as we speak, we have been able to push the bill to cabinet stage for the president to append his signature to it. Yes. And that we are pushing it next week when parliament begins work. We are pushing it through there for it. And by God's grace, inshallah, the art bill will be passed. Sadiq is here and he knows of all these things that we have done. He knows the various stages of what we have done, the consultation, regional consultations, traveling across the country and making sure all these policies are achieved. And today we have a bill.
Right. Thank you very much.
And he will sit here and rubbish that the creative art will not be able to achieve any of the factors. It is a lie.
You'll be the only person.
It is a lie. We should not permit him to sit here and throw
the big laughs. The morning entertainer. Break your day right. The Daybreak Hitz.
Kwesi, I think earlier I spoke on this and we all agreed that when the chair is.
But I'm still within my time, and I'm saying,
my friend, your time is up. Go. Chairman. All right. So let's go on the phone lines and speak with. Oh, Kwesi.
He was shivering.
Who was shivering?
Sadiq was shivering when he was talking about creative art because he doesn't.
Kwesi, hey, thank you. Kwesi, please. We have George Quay, co-host of the show. George Quay, good morning.
Good morning, my brother. How are you?
Very well, thank you, George. You want to respond to the allegations leveled against you by the Don?
Andy, I am pretty appalled and disgusted by some of the words uttered on your network this morning. By Don. I mean, let's go straight to it.
Right. So you should have said it. Otherwise,
yes. I'm moving into it. You see, as a member of the multimedia family, I mean, Don was there before I even joined, and he knows the way things are done. A discussion was made dispassionately. Anybody that follows me on social media knows that I would always stand up for the NPP. I have never denied it. I would not lie about it. However, I am on an official work platform. You're telling me that I should close my eyes to the facts and just kowtow or align to what you think would benefit one party? Hell no, I cannot do that. It has to be party first. And multimedia as an organization does not have an agenda against one party or the other. So it would be very inappropriate for staff of multimedia to sit on multimedia platforms to allude or even make it seem as if multimedia is setting up an agenda. When Evans Mensah made the statement about a coup, he meant that I had taken over his show. That was the coup he was referring to. So let us not make it look like multimedia put a couple of people together to come on their network, beaming back across all platforms and malign one party or the other. Is it our fault that the promises that they said they were going to deliver, they did not deliver? Is it our fault that when they ask for A, B, C, D, it is not there? Andy, imagine if we picked Manifesto Promise number 1 from 2016, ultra-modern theatre, starting with Kumasi, Takrady, except for Accra. And then, where is it? Oh, it is there. It is at Kumasi near the mall. It is there. You can see it. Wouldn't everybody have applauded it? Where is it? You tell people you're going to build them brand new theatres. And you see, Andy, if we in this industry are not going to throw our party colors aside and be frank and speak to the issues holistically, realistically, and pragmatically, we are going to continue to suffer. Can we for once put our party colors aside? The Don cannot say he loves the NPP party more than me. He cannot say that. It is not going to be said anywhere. And everybody that knows me knows that. But can we for once cry for our industry? There are people that are being trained to be able to sit in your studio. A theater was started at the University of Ghana some about 10 or 17 years ago. Till date, it is not completed. Creative arts, it is not done. Meanwhile, at great departments, law faculty, communications, everybody, they have new structures all over the university, all done by the GET Fund. And they will tell you that this one is not relevant. We are not being respected. We are not being given what is due us. Meanwhile, if our industry is taken very, very seriously, our contribution to this country and to GDP will turn a lot of things around, and all this issue of employment will get lost. Andy, imagine how many shows one event alone, how many people one event alone employs. So please, yesterday, there was a program that was put on air. There were people that were invited to speak. On the contrary, I've even had people that are blaming me, saying that I gave Mark too much time to talk. And that when Mark was talking, I'll let him go. But the others, as soon as they start talking, I let them talk a little and then I cut them. I was only playing the role as a host and trying to share time equitably among all parties. Please let us not do this to each other. I felt bad when those comments came from my big brother Don.
Okay, so Don made an allegation that Evans Mensah, your co-host, mentioned that the coup had begun.
Yes.
What did
the
he
coup
mean?
that he meant was that I had taken over his show. It was a show that Joy TV had created, PM Express, and they decided to do this manifesto tracker. And for the very first edition, there had been a coup to take him off the show and let somebody else do it. That was exactly what he meant.
And he mentioned it on air, knowing that you had been placed there for just
we had made a joke about it off air. I knew what he meant.
Okay,
so maybe for you, the viewer, you did not get it. But you got it.
Now, were you there to co-host the event? The show for just yesterday, or you are the co-host of PM Express?
No. It was the specific discussion of the creative arts. That was what I was invited for. I mean, of course, if you invite me to come and discuss roads and infrastructure, I'll be wasting my time. I don't have a clue about it. I can't deny it. You understand? So I would be inappropriate. However, if maybe there's a discussion on sports and they do invite Ariel Smith, which has happened on PM Express before, and they invite Gary L. Smith, George Addo Jr. and the rest of the team to man that, or there is a discussion on the concept of DJing or something, and they invite you and them DJ Black. Why is it that we have the appropriate or the right people in the house who understand and know the industry and want to go about the bush and let other people do it because they are the ones who've been doing it all along? Andy, why have you invited the Don, Prof, Sadiq and Mr. Logic into your studio this morning? Because they are experts in what you are discussing. Why didn't you call Dr. Pambo from the GFA to come and sit down and discuss what you're discussing? It is because we don't want to have square pegs and round hole issues. That is why the first part of the show, it was Evans and myself. We introduced the show, we analyzed, we did all the analysis, and don't forget, the title of the show is Manifesto Tracker. And please, let us show respect to the panel that came. Arnold put party colors aside and spoke dispassionately. It was clear that both Uncle Rex and Mark were wearing party colors, but they were there to do their job, and that was the very reason they were invited. If you ask me, I think everybody gave a good account of whatever it was they were there to submit. And the facts are all there for all to see. Right. Let us not paint a picture to make it look as if somebody is out to make Party A or Party B look bad. No, it would be unfair. I would ask you again, Andy, go into the manifesto. The people said they would give us ultra-modern theatres. Show me one. And then I'll keep quiet. Show me one. And look, if these ultra-modern theatres have been built, they've been built for all of us. All of us, not just me. So I beg you in the name of God, let's not do this. It is wrong. You understand? Right. We can also go into the manifesto. We can analyze. We can say, oh, the show wasn't even nice. I don't like the way they were talking. But let us not make it look as if somebody set out to make one party look bad and Mark was not given enough time to talk. Ask Mark himself if he didn't have enough time to talk. Go back and watch the tapes and see who had the most time to talk on that show.
Well, thank you very much, George. I'm so grateful for your time.
Thank you, my brother.
Well, okay, hold on, George. Hold on.
Hello, George.
Yes,
I'm very happy that you concurred that you had some discussion backdoor with Evans and you knew what the coup was about, and you wouldn't blame me, the third party out there, for speculating on what you knew between two of you and put on air.
Agreeable, my brother.
Thank you.
Now
let me go to the. Now let me go on to.
Multimedia would not put people together.
Yes.
Or make one
that is why it is imperative that we clear this thing, because if I have thought that people will think that too as well.
As a member of the family, you have access to all of us.
All right. No. Why do I clear something that was said on radio privately?
That was wrong. You shouldn't have done that.
No. George Craig. Hold on. What did you mean by saying that the coup hadn't started?
Hold on. Unfair to the producers of the show of Manifesto.
Hold on.
Particularly for Don, who is a producer at Multimedia. You understand the system.
Let me ask the question, please. Thank you. George.
Yes, my brother.
I think what Don is saying, supposing there's been several talks off air, and he as a listener, an ordinary listener, have this perception, don't you think it will be clear that we make things apparent here?
This is much ado about nothing, trust me. This is measuring.
Okay. You know what? Let me take my fire back. Let us apologize for not letting the public get the joke.
Thank you.
It was not meant to malign
make
anybody look bad. However, Andy, let us also understand the fact that Don is not Sadiq. Neither is he Prof nor Logic. Don is a part of this family and has access to everybody who worked on that production. And instead of coming to sit on air and make his own company look bad, he could have asked. That is the point I'm making. I accept mine. He also has to accept his.
Thank you, George. Thank you. I'm so grateful. Now let's move on to Arnold. Please, Sadiq, hold on.
To corner him to
Who,
take
me?
this particular side. Yes, Andy.
What? How have I been? Are you telling me that George has no sense?
He himself admitted.
He just admitted.
Perception.
He said
Don is trying to use the perception.
He said there was a joke of
Sadiq.
Don is a producer of Multimedia. For him to
Sadiq.
I am under the boss in this particular way.
I am speaking as a
This is so wrong.
Hold on.
This is so wrong.
I'm not speaking as a producer.
Of the show like that. How do you do that?
He was not under duress.
How do you do that? You are a member of the Multimedia family.
Let's speak with Arnold. Arnold, good morning.
Good morning, Andy.
All right, Arnold. Thank you very much for joining us. I will appreciate it, gentlemen, if you give us some space. All right. So, Arnold, you also you're also not pleasant about some things that Don said, right?
Andy, I listened to the Dawn, and for the past 5 minutes, I've been sitting with so much rage. I've just been praying for.
Okay. So calm down. Once you've mentioned rage, I think it will be appropriate to calm down. Please, you know you are the best journalist I've come across.
Hey.
Calm you down. Calm down.
It is working.
Yeah, man.
But you see, I'm highly disappointed. I'm highly gutted by Dawn's utterances. And my disappointment stems from the fact that this gentleman is very experienced. I mean, Don can be classified as a legend in the media landscape, especially within entertainment. GSS, you get it. And so I expect him to spew sentiments that is shrouded with experience, expertise, and common sense. See, he's sitting there talking about indicting the production team of multimedia, that there was a plot, there was a coup. Meanwhile, we are very much versed, well experienced in production, in this media job. Why would you want to talk about a coup, plot? He's talking about he having a problem with the panel. Boss, I don't give a rat's ass about the panel, you having a problem with you being on the panel. I do not. He also talks about the fact that he's monitored me for so long and he thinks he knows my alignment. So goddamn what? Everybody that has really scrutinized my analysis, especially to do with politics, would know that I always back my analysis with facts and figures. Whether it's for NDC, whether it's for MPP, it's always backed with research work. And that's exactly what I did yesterday. And so if you sit there and you make it look as if, over the period, he's always been talking against Massa, speak with some level of wisdom. Yesterday.
Please. Arnold, I will appreciate it. Arnold, I will appreciate it. Arnold, please, I will appreciate it if you tone down on the language. I think, please, gentlemen, please, Sadiq, hey, gentlemen, Arnold, please, I think that's quite on the harsher. Yes, thank you.
Cool. So I withdraw.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So I withdraw. Andy, can I go on?
Yeah, you can go on, but I'm just not happy about my honorable members. Arnold, please hold on. Honorable gentlemen, please. Kwesi, Andy, Kwesi, fair to these people. Sadiq, why are you doing this? Why are you heckling? Why? Charlie, why are you doing this? Sadiq. So allow what you allow. Sadiq. Are you pay Arnold some money? Let me calm them down. No, make her calm them down. Sadiki! 3 Music Awards, boss. You do. You too.
We are talking about
hey!
What are you doing?
Why are you acting like Bob all of a sudden? Arnold.
Yes, sir.
Please go ahead.
So Andy, so I withdraw, and I would want to apologize to him, but if I went overboard.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
But the point is, see, he's speaking and acting as if he's defending Mark. Even Mark, I mean, who is more vocal, who is more opinionated than Mark? Mark did not have any related problem with what transpired on the show yesterday. And so why would you come on air and act as if Mark? Again, Andy, before I move on, yesterday's discussion was strictly based on the NPP manifesto. And so I was laughing like a killer when somebody like my big boss, Logic, was comparing NDC and NPP manifesto. No, that was not the purpose of yesterday's discussion. We were only scrutinizing and analyzing the NPP manifesto. So if we watch critically, we didn't even discuss NDC. There was little comparison between the two. And so I do not know why they would want to make it look like NDC, NPP. And if quickly, you see, we should rise above party politics as industry persons. What we should be fighting for first is the industry. What works well for the industry? If we let party politics blind us, we should and let the industry lead us more than party politics. Thank you very much, Andy.
Thank you very much, Arnold. I'm so grateful for your time. God bless you. Premier. All right, gentlemen. Please let's accord Premier.
Yeah, Premier. I think I've been gentle enough.
Everybody. Please, under 4 minutes. Shoot.
Oh no, give me 5 minutes, please.
Why, Master? Why? Did I give you 5 minutes? I gave you 4.
Please stand up and go. Stand up and go.
Make you don't mind now.
Because when I interjected, you wanted to stand.
Yes,
he wanted to stand.
I didn't want to stand.
4 minutes. Hey, you're telling me. This mic is off. Don't worry. Go ahead.
Andy, you see, good morning to our listeners. Let's be honest to ourselves. There hasn't been any government who has been able to fulfill all its promises in the manifesto. Whether it's creative arts or whatever, I think both parties have taken us for granted, both NDC and MPP, with all honesty. And NDC has done something to some point, MPP has done something to some point or some limit, but then we've been taken for granted. I'm really saddened by the fact that now we are being partisan about this whole issue, because it's an industry that will feed both of us, regardless of your party colors. I always say this: if you vote for MPP or you vote for NDC, whether good or bad, if you all go do the thing inside. So I'm really disappointed that everybody is trying to tone a certain line as trying to talk in favor or defend something, or I just don't get the whole thing. You see, NDC, I stand to be corrected. I think they were the first party to have actually given us a whole ministry, like a creative arts minister. I stand to be corrected, but I think so far it was them that gave us a whole, and it's something that they've done. That was a step.
They added the name to it.
Don't interject, oh.
I said I stand to be corrected.
That's what I'm correcting.
Okay, so and if NDC had done that thing, it means it was a step that they took, which was in the right direction for us as creative people. Now, even when MPP came, they also changed the name. I think initially it was creative arts something, and then later they also said tourism, arts and culture. We've accepted it. All that we care is that there should be work done for all of us to be okay. You see, NDC, I remember when they were in power, said they started, is it Creative Arts Fund or something? Then, no, there was a fund that they said they had started. MPP comes.
They give it, the one they give to the culture forum.
Yes, and MPP comes and they say there was no fund, and then they also started the whole fund. That's what I'm saying. They are taking us for granted. We shouldn't look at being MPP or being NDC, because at the end of the day, if you talk too political, it will affect your career. And we've seen how politics has affected career of a lot of people in this industry, including Mr. Beautiful that we even mentioned his name. And so I'm just disappointed. You see, NDC did something. NDC actually brought up this whole ambassadorial thing, tourism ambassador thing and stuff. MPP, when they also came, and I think you were even an ambassador. But let's be honest to ourselves. Is Abeku Santana, didn't he do well? I mean, not under NDC, but as MPP came, Abeku Santana actually decided to prove us all wrong by being a good tourism ambassador. More than all the ambassadors that both NDC and MPP are chosen. And that's what we're looking out for, not being partisan. Abeku could have said NDC is in opposition, so he won't do anything. But he did. And he's one of the people who have actually helped us.
He was getting Lucci.
Okay, well, I don't really know.
That's business.
That's okay. It's okay. It's my time. It's my time. It's my time. So
very unfortunate for you.
Don't be making such
statements. It's my time. You see, Andy, NPP promised some things that we are accepting that they've not been able to do. Please. But then there are other things that MPP never promised, but they've done.
Thank you.
Year of return wasn't promised, but it was done. Oh, Lodi, the backing vocalist. You see, Afrima wasn't promised, but it was done. The fact that MPP promised something, I remember the Koforidua trip where we went to see the renovation that they were doing. That, I think, is what they've been doing. I mean, I've been to Kumasi, I've seen Prempa Assembly Hall being renovated to a point. If that, yes, so now when you go, it's looking sweet, I mean, beautiful than before. But the thing is that was not what was captured, or that was not what we were told. And that is where we should actually get the point right. The show that we watched yesterday was about what was promised and what was delivered. In as much as I'm acknowledging MPP for having done things that they didn't promise us, the same way I should also bring to bear the fact that they promised us certain things that they haven't done. And that is why I want us to all constructively look at, instead of being partisan, being party A, party B. Because being party A, party B, it won't really do anything. MPP never promised any stimulus package. But when they came and there was COVID, they brought a stimulus package. That's what I'm trying to say. So MPP has done something well. And MPP has also failed us as a point because they didn't do certain things that we were expecting them to do. However, they also surprised us with things that we weren't expecting them to do. And so let's not actually make this more political. I mean, MPP has done this and this. What we care about, what we want is that whether MPP or NDC, they should make the thing work so that regardless of which party that is in power, the industry can still thrive. And the slow motion is better than no motion.
All right, thank you very much. You've done your 4 minutes, in fact, 5 minutes. So let's wrap it all up. Masa, why?
I did only 4
Sadiq, why?
You took 1 minute out of my time.
Who took 1 minute out of your time?
You now, you didn't allow me to touch on a creative art issue.
Because so now you are
decided to go to different ways. Andy, see, For me, I think policies.
Tell the Don if I start, he shouldn't come and say I didn't give him any chance. No one has sent him out.
Blaming the NPP is an unfortunate thing. I mean, analyzing the manifesto and tracking into the promises is allowed. It's part of politics. But then, whilst you do that, you have to also look on the other side. Can we equally track what they did under 8 years? Can we equally go and track? Because you cannot hold one person at ransom, whilst the other person, the real culprit is standing somewhere. Creative arts industry is at stagnancy because the NDC never factored us in the agenda. Never since President Rawlings' time. We have never been factored. Were we not playing music and doing arts and movies during President Rawlings' time? Did anybody talk about creative art then? It was our music. It's only the NPP that made it official. That is why people are so interested and they are bashing. Because look, until NPP came, it wasn't official. So now that it has become official, now they are interested in whether the theatres were built or not. Because formerly, could you have gone to NDC and asked them for a theatre? You only sit on radio and complain and sit at home and you complain. Right, but now you have the gas to come. Andy, please, I beg.
No, your 1 minute is up. Please, if I've given you 2 minutes. Mr. Logic. Yes.
Yeah, Andy Rossi, just to wrap up.
I don't make my points. If it makes you at anything.
Then why you don't go straight to the point?
The point I'm making, once I'm coining the point, I think they look in my face.
You
understand? I don't like that move.
Sadiq.
I don't like any eye contact.
Now he's not looking at you. Sadiq, bow down your head. In fact, bow down your head in shame for looking at you. No.
Honestly, for me, I don't know if I stepped on a few toes whilst making my submission because I sit here as a panelist. I want to see myself as a panelist sitting on the show in front of you. I will do my work better if I see myself as a panelist on the show.
To share your ideas.
Yes, otherwise I'm not going to be, clearly, what do you call objective? So please excuse me if you felt uncomfortable because that is how I see my terms of description on this job, to be a panelist. So I'm speaking as one. So please excuse me if I stepped on your toe. Now, I feel that I gave George Quay a very good opportunity to clear the air, which I am very grateful he did. Because when we were listening to the show with my friends, that was one of the things that came up, and we even stopped listening to the show and we were discussing that issue. That why should it be said? Coup d'etat is a strong word to use around the political era. But I'm very happy that he's come to clear the air. And jokes that are in studio is very difficult for people outside to decode them. So let's put some of these things in place. In as much as you may be upset, there is some good in what I have said. So people are agitating, people are speculating. So it is a good platform to clear the air that, it was a joke. I hear Mark also called to confirm it was a joke. But we outside didn't know it was a joke. So it's good that they have come to clear the air. And moving forward, let's watch some of these utterances. This is an advice. Yeah.
Sadiq, Andy, there's something called majoring in the minors. So, and it's a tactic that a lot of people who do not have any basis and realize that they do not have nothing to say do often in arguments. So they go. The one is he's trained in legal, what's it called? So he understands. So they tend to beat about the bush and go into places that's not actually even necessary when they know better. This is why I said that you've been unfair to the producers and everything of the show, right? After the show, you actually even cited a topic. You threw it up. You were supposed to speak to the topic. You decided to go for the jugular and not the topic. When they came back, they pointed out to you that Don cannot say that he's sitting here only as a panelist. He's an employee of multimedia. He understands the ethics and the standards of multimedia. What he just did was to throw the producers of multimedia under the bus because of his political, his partisanship.
Withdraw that, Sadiq. No. I'm not going to take that.
You are not the host.
No. I'm not going to take that. I'm not going to. I say I am a panelist.
No, say what you said again. Hold on, please. No, I want to get.
He's saying that I have thrown the production team.
No, he said it earlier.
Yeah,
he said it
earlier.
And
I'm telling him that he should withdraw.
Andy, this is my final word.
Okay, maybe that is your opinion, but that is not the case. Your opinion is not the case.
You, dear, your opinion. you take put on and George.
But he came to apologize. I don't see what you are fighting about. If George did not apologize,
you see, so why are you clapping?
Please stop saying that. I'm
done. I think with due respect, we all agree. We all agree that there will be no heckling.
Andy, so like I'm saying, the issues that was raised was specific to certain things. What was the question that you asked us? The whole idea was on the basis of the fact that on the basis of the promises that you cited, I stated here that you made 18 promises. As it stands now, out of the 18 promises to the tourism, culture, and creative and art space, 6 of it was specific to the creative art space. You've not delivered even one, so we can't say you've actually even delivered 10%. So on the basis of that and the flip-flops of communication and the lack of briefing of the president, vice president coming to the
and
president,
going back. 1 minute.
But you because you came in. You came in. That's why
I'm wrapping up. I know you came in. Andy, this is not Andy. Andy, look, I need to put it here. This is not on.
Which one is not on?
The Don is fond of doing these things. It is disrespectful. Let's not do that. I don't do that to the Don. He's older than I am. I sat down quietly when he spoke all the things he did. Okay. Consistently, every time when we are here and we are having this particular conversation, every time he likes to cap in. You gave him all the time in the world for him to speak. How I summarize my statement and everything in a particular minute has no business with anybody. He should stop doing that thing. He always does those things.
Well, thank
Please,
you. Sorry.
Check it.
Right. Thank you very much. Kwesi?
Yeah.
Please, Kwesi, do me a favor.
Yeah, I'll be very brief.
No, Kwesi, please. Do me a favor.
Yeah.
To stop where we say stop.
Okay.
I don't think you run by the red lights when you get to a traffic light.
I hear you.
Thank you.
Okay. Andy.
Yes, sir.
In 2016, the NDC manifesto gave 25 promises to the creative art industry and delivered 0. 2016 manifesto. Go and read the promises that they gave. 2016 manifesto. I'm coming. Even from and this was a continuation. This was a continuation from from 2014, 13, 15, onward. I'm coming. We didn't win it, but it was not something you were even going to achieve it. Now listen to this one, Andy.
Now, Kwesi, what are you saying?
Andy, listen to me. Andy, listen to me.
All right.
Listen to me carefully.
Propaganda secretary.
Andy, listen to me.
I'm listening, Kwesi.
Good. Now, there was a particular one which actually caught my attention. And that's why I'm basing my point on it.
Because since they didn't win the election, how does it...
No, listen, because I'm following it up. Listen to me. I'm saying that it is important for all of us as creative persons, instead of heckling government, putting all these issues together, for once, believe in a government which has shown much commitment to the creative art industry, and rally behind the government to produce and support us with all the various infrastructural promises that they have made. It is important because for once, if not for anybody, I have seen a president who has been able to promise a creative art industry with good amount of money, and the money is being delivered. And members, creative art persons, are going to have access to the funding. If for nothing at all, I have seen it in my life as a young man. I've seen a government which have made a promise of 50 million Ghana cedis to the creative industry and pushing for creative art persons to access. If for nothing at all, I've seen a government in my day which has been able to push heavily on making sure that the creative art bill is passed.
Right.
If for nothing at all,
right.
I've seen a government which has shown commitment of making sure that the creative art industry grow and even be able to build a digital infrastructure for us.
Right.
I've seen a government which has got the power and ability of transforming our creative art industry.
All right. Right, thank you. Premier, please come in. Kwesi, please show some respect for. Please, can we get some respect for our listeners and Premier as well? Kwesi, thank you. Premier.
Andy, it's because we chose to be neutral.
I should have. We are the two gentlemen. We should have allowed Kwesi to end it all.
But Kwesi is the one wearing. He's the one wearing tie.
Wearing suit and tie.
What does wearing of tie got to do with it?
It affects the brain. That's okay.
You see,
Kwesi, thank you.
Andy.
Never again will we want to hear you speak.
No,
please.
I'm not even speaking.
I'm
not speaking again. You promised 1 minute. You promised 1 minute.
Hey.
Sadiq, thank you for taking him out. Andy, you see, there's one thing that should be paramount to us, and that is how well the industry will thrive. If we keep politicizing our industry, trust me, we will spend years and then still we'll be stuck at where we are. I think whoever or whichever government that does well for us, we should appreciate it and then push them to surge on. Whichever government that comes and takes us for granted, we should just eliminate them or move them and then move to the next alternative. Instead of, doing all these parts. And Andy, I'm really sad this morning because I was actually expecting my members to actually prioritize the importance of the industry and how it can benefit all of us instead of being party A, party B. So please, whoever is listening to us out there, whoever is part of this whole creative arts industry should know that what is paramount, what is key, is how we can move forward and succeed and enjoy and benefit from this whole industry. Because the industry employs a lot of people. So whichever government that will actually tell us something and fulfill, or we see them making a headway towards whatever that they give us, which will help us, we go for it. But we shouldn't try and do this hope. And yes, I bet it's a guy now.
Right, thank you very much. Rosemary, okay, Nanaya Flexi says, why you the one wine like that, Mr. Logic? And it also won't kill person on the show. Daybreak is for life. Your neighbor 18 says, Andy, my question is, when will this world help us if we continue to politicize the creative arts industry? We have a long way to go. Amagana. Now, do you know that every day can be a market day at Melcom for a period of 7 days? Melcom is happy to introduce to you Melcom Market Week, which is an offer that enables you to earn an amazing discount on the 10th anniversary of Super Saver Card. Just flash your Super Saver Card and enjoy 10% discounts on purchases worth 250 Ghana cedis and above. This offer is valid from the 24th of August to 30th August 2020. Terms and conditions apply. But before I go, I know you've heard very well. You've heard. Have you heard that, yes, you can talk from morning, from